Hey, how you doing today? When I first started out on YouTube, first of all, I didn't know how to even set up a YouTube channel. Where to even start on that? And yeah, I used a YouTube channel, and it helped me along the way, setting up a YouTube channel, how to download everything, how to load my videos, everything. And same can be said for anything starting new. It can seem complicated, it can seem overwhelming, and you wonder if you'll ever get it. Maybe that's not a good example because I'm still struggling. I think I'm just about going on a year with YouTube, but yeah. When I first started out, I said everything I needed to say in about 3 minutes time. I never posted those videos. And other times I would start talking, and without some type of outline or script, I would veer off the topic, and we may go from motorcycles to sports or music or what have you. So, but everything new to us seems like maybe we'll never get there, or it's hard in the beginning, and it takes time. It takes time. Just like riding a motorcycle, it takes time before you start to enjoy what everybody calls the freedom of riding and experiencing the scenery all around you. In the beginning, it seems like you're worried about the mechanics of riding a motorcycle, which you need to pay attention and you need to get good at before you can start to enjoy everything around you. So with that in mind, let's go out to my humble abode and get ready to ride, and let's talk about the day it finally clicks. Yes, so we've gone from where do I start to, taking a motorcycle training course, signing up for that, doing that, finding a starter motorcycle, beginning motorcycle, and whatever that is to each and every person is their own preference. Starting out maybe in a parking lot, back roads, things of that nature, and just getting used to the friction zone, braking, using the clutch, making U-turns, making sharp turns, all that good stuff. So, as I said, let's go out to my humble abode here in my garage. Let's get ready to go for a ride, and we'll talk about it. As we go in to the garage where I got my motorcycle, I have all my stuff depending on the season, the temperature, and all that good stuff. Depends on what each day I will ride, wear what when I go for a ride, what I'm gonna wear. See, a year into YouTube, and yep, I'm officially a pro. Far from it. So let's talk about the day let's start talking about the day it all clicks for a beginner rider. So when you're starting out riding a motorcycle and you watch other riders, you watch YouTube channels, and everyone makes it look so easy. They're running through the gears effortlessly. They're cutting through the curves, and they look like, you know, going through the gears and all that stuff. They look like they've been doing it their whole lives, and maybe some of them have. But it takes time before you build up that experience, that muscle memory of what all you're doing, as far as trying to keep it all straight in your mind, as far as the clutch, braking, hand and foot braking, shifting with your foot, all at the same time. You're managing your speed, you're watching traffic, watching the people in front of you, what they're doing, and all those things. And it seems like you're never going to get there. And like I said, it looks easy, and you look like you are maybe auditioning for a rock group, a drummer. Your left hand is doing the clutch, blinker. This bike, I got all kinds of controls. Right hand is also doing the throttle and the brake, turn signal. You got other controls over here, top and on the side of it. Left foot's doing one thing, you're shifting. Right foot's braking. So yeah, seems like you're trying to remember a lot of things at one time while moving. So then one day something happens, and you may not even be aware of it at the time. You pull away from a stop sign, you run through the gears, or you go around a corner, or it could be you go through a series of curves and you do it smoothly, effortlessly, and suddenly you realize you weren't thinking about the mechanics of the motorcycle and what your body is doing. And that, my friends, is the day it clicks. That's the day you've been waiting for, to enjoy and experience the moment of freedom. And if you're a new struggling rider right now, maybe this will help you, because it might just be the next time you ride. You know, may not be your first bike, may not be the first time you ride, but it'll be the next time you ride. You put in the time, put in the practice, everything starts to come to you. And that's the moment when riding becomes natural. Because every experienced rider has gone through it, and everybody experiences it a little bit differently. But in the beginning, they start out confused a little bit, maybe a little overwhelmed, a little nervous, wonder if they'll ever get it. Trust me, we've all kind of been through it. Different stages, things of that nature. You know, it might be at the very beginning, when you're going through a motorcycle training course, or when you've taken the written test, or when you buy that first bike and you're going, gee. When you're a new rider, Everybody makes it look effortlessly, if I can say that. And it feels like everyone is judging you. And let me tell you, that's not the case. Other riders, you know, may be more experienced than you, and you may feel they're judging you, watching everything you do, but they're not. They're probably more or less looking at your bike, seeing everything on your bike, maybe are thinking something on your bike they wish they had, or maybe that's something they need to upgrade to, or yeah, I remember having a bike like that. Believe me, it's not being televised or shown on a big screen TV in Times Square. That's not the case. So don't feel like everyone's judging you. And for the most part, experienced riders understand the learning curve. And I've seen people dump a bike and there be 4 or 5 people there instantly to help them up. So more experienced riders are more helpful than what you think they'll be. Yeah, there's some that aren't, but more than not, they are. They'll be there to help you. So don't worry about being judged. It's kind of all in your head. No one's looking at you and judging you. I think I've said that enough now. So, and I have talked to some riders who feel maybe they're not coordinating enough, or they feel like maybe they're starting too late. And I'm telling you, I started at 50 years of age, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing some of these videos, to prove the point that you can start a little later. And from my 20s till probably my 40s, I was not against riding a motorcycle, but I didn't feel it was for me until my late 40s when I started to think about it more and more. But I was told I was too old, told because of cell phones it's too dangerous. But I felt like I had the calling, if I can call it that, if I can say that, describe that. I felt it was something I wanted to experience for myself, and so I felt taking a rider's safety course helped prepare me for the dangers of riding, preparing myself to be a better rider, and preparing myself for the other people on the road that I had to look out for. And after I am probably 11 and a half years of riding, going on 12, I feel like I've done a better job. I've done a good job. I feel confident in my riding ability and the experience that I have under my belt now, that I am prepared for other riders on the road. And I feel pretty safe and confident in my own abilities to minimize, cut down on those dangers of the road. You know, it's like everything else. So all along while you're practicing, your brain in the background is putting all this together. What your hands are doing, what your feet are doing,
what your eyes are seeing and what your brain, your CPU, is processing in front of you. The road, the traffic, the signs. And all of a sudden, one day, your brain decides, hey, I think I got this. And it may not be out loud, maybe the light bulb above your head, I don't know. But you'll take off from a stop sign, you'll run through the gears, or you're coming up to a stop sign and you downshift, you hit all the gears. Or it could be you're rolling through the curves and you look all the way through the curves and you start to realize, hey, I didn't think about the mechanics. And that's it. That's when you start to enjoy the freedom of the ride, the freedom of motorcycling, is when all this becomes fun. You stop thinking about the mechanics. You start to notice the scenery around you. And that's the freedom that they talk about. That's the wind therapy. You're focused on the ride itself, and so whatever problems you had before you got on the bike, they're gone now. Maybe they'll come back when you get home or off the bike, but you're enjoying the breeze. Your knees are in the breeze, as they say. You're experiencing the green grass, the trees, the curves, the hills, the odors, the hay that's freshly cut. So the real secret, and most people don't want to admit this, but I will. I don't want to, badly. So lean in here close, and I'll tell you one of the biggest secrets. Lean in close. No, that's too close. I can see the hair in your ears, so back up a little bit. When it finally clicks and you run through the gears and you start to enjoy the ride and you stop worrying about the mechanics, the secret is you're still not perfect. You still may come to a stop sign and kill it. Whew, glad I didn't. Or you may come out in second gear. And I have done that many years into it. May start to pull away from a group of riders and you're just worried about being judged, all that good stuff. But you still need to learn, keep learning, and you will, and it's all based on experience and ride time, seat time, as they call it. Keep putting in the seat time. You mess up, realize what you messed up on, fix it the next time. And if you feel like you've had a day where you hit neutral, I've done that. You killed it, missed a gear, went through a curve, and you didn't look all the way through it, and you had to slow down abruptly, regain yourself. Or sometimes when I ride 2 up and I have my wife with me, and I come to a stop sign rather abruptly. Thank goodness she's got bumpers. And I stop too quickly and everybody moves forward. So you'll still have that from time to time. But then, like I said, it will all click. And it's not because you're uncoordinated or you're coordinated or you're special. But everybody's special. Not because you're more talented or less talented. Everybody learns at their own pace, their own speed. I've ridden with many people, guys and gals. They all learn at their own pace, their own speed. And stay within yourself, your own abilities. Don't ride outside your own abilities. That's another big secret. So keep putting in the time and you'll get there. You'll enjoy the freedom of the ride. Everything around you, you'll notice. And that becomes the wind therapy. Just being on a motorcycle. Instead of going to a drive-in movie theater in a car, you'll experience being in that movie. You'll experience everything. The wind, the smells, the speed of the motorcycle, humming along, and all that becomes music to your ears. It becomes the ride itself. So, what I can leave you with, I hope, is if you're watching and it starts to feel like it's clicking, but you still kill it, that's good. You're still learning. You bobble, you miss a shift, you're still learning. And you will always learn. There's something about every ride. Yeah, I could have done this different, could have done this better, whatever. But if you're still learning, and you're still struggling, I encourage you, don't give up. It's about to click. That light bulb is about to happen. Another ride, a couple more rides, another half hour in the parking lot, you'll take off and you'll start to discover that, yes, this is what it's all about. That dude on YouTube, he was right. It will happen for you. If you're an experienced rider and you remember when that happened, leave a comment. If you remember when that happened, it started to click, you started to take notice of the ride, the scenery. And if you're just beginning to ride, let me know your struggles. There are many people on this channel. I say I'm part of a group of channels. There's a lot of, what I mean to say is, there's a lot of experienced riders, a lot of experienced YouTube channels that are watching this and are encouraging me, helping me, and they're also leaving comments that you can benefit from. So if you're struggling, leave me a comment, let me know what you're struggling with. I'll encourage you. We've all been there, so take it all in stride. Okay? Keep the sunny side up, the shiny side up, and the rubber side down. I'll see you on the next ride.